Aloha kako. My name is James Hustace, and I serve as your Hawaii County Council member for District 9, representing the communities of North and South Kohala. Just here to provide a few new updates since our last virtual chat. Nice busy week last week with conversations regarding affordable housing, matching infrastructure with our communities as they grow, and then of course those barriers and hurdles for our businesses across our communities here. This week's going to be a nice busy week here for Council. We are still in budget season, and we have a couple of special council meetings this week. Tomorrow evening, May 20th, is our public hearing for the budget itself at 5 p.m. in the evening, so an opportunity to testify on the budget itself. And then Thursday, May 22nd, is that first reading of the budget by council, and we'll start to be hearing amendments from the council itself. Just a little bit of a budget breakdown. Our operating budget, we operate with a balanced budget. This is going to be totaling $953 million, which is a 3.5% increase from last fiscal year. A number of things to note on there. This is increases. We see increases in real property tax due to the increase in our property values. We're also seeing an increased request for funding towards staffing at the police department, fire department, at our parks, as well as in our finance department in the real property tax division. Also seeing an increase in funding for facility repairs and maintenance across the board, as well as some requests for legislative tracking and grant management software applications. And in terms of the capital budget, the other half of the budget itself, we're seeing requests for funds for wastewater facility repairs and overhaul, as well as ADA compliance at our facilities, bridge inspections, and then an island-wide trail plan. And then a little bit more specifically in the district, a couple to note on here as a request for a community shelter and a community facility at the Waimea District Park, the Kalani District Park. And then of course some funds being allocated towards the Mahukona Beach Park and the redevelopment of that space. And then in the Waikoloa community, some funds for the Waikoloa Road and Paniolo Avenue intersection improvements in that area. And then I'm also be bringing some amendments to the capital budget itself. We're going to be requesting some funds for a Waikoloa arterial road, some planning and design side for that, as well as requesting funds for other road improvements in Waikoloa Village. And then we'll be planning to reappropriate funds for major repairs to the Kohala swimming pool, as well as reappropriating funds for park and field improvements at the Kalani District Park in Waimea. And then I have a couple others in the work that I'm looking at introducing as well. Other than that, it's going to be a pretty busy week. So that's on Thursday, looking at the budget. But leading up to that, tomorrow and Wednesday are council and committee days. So we'll be on this week in Hilo. A couple things to note on there. There's some continued conversations about Bill 24 and telecommunication towers. Interesting to see a couple bills on Henry's come forward, as well as there'll probably be some good conversations regarding a performance audit of the building permit process, as well as a compliance review of the VIVI grant application and past applicants, and then looking at the recommendations and reviewing the recommendations for the current VIVI grant awardees. And then at council, we'll also be having an opportunity for the first reading of Bill 44. It had good success at the committee level. This is providing tax relief to our homesteading communities, and then providing also parity with the other counties. So it's a real property tax, looking at our Department of Hawaiian Homeland's parcels and reducing the tax burden there. So with all of these things and other things that come before council, I always encourage you to submit testimony. You're welcome to use the email address counciltestimony@hawaiicounty.gov. And remember that your written testimony is due at 12 noon on the business day prior to that meeting. Your voice is important, and I always value your insight. So thank you for taking the time to submit your testimony or appear in front of council giving your verbal testimony there as well. Looking ahead at the week, a couple road paving things are going on in the district. We're still seeing some work in the Waimea area. Mile markers 0 to 1 on Mamaloa Highway between Lindsay Road intersection and Lalamilo Farm Road. Looks like most of the road paving is done itself. Some striping to come forward off on that. And then some ongoing road work further out on Mamaloa Highway around the Daniel K. Noi intersection. Some paving and striping efforts down there. Up in Kapa'au, some shoulder maintenance, road maintenance along Kinnersley. So expect some impacts there. And then along Kohala Mountain Road, some ongoing tree trimming, cleaning of culverts, as well as some shoulder work. So expect some traffic impacts when the weather is good in those locations. In terms of some community events, just want to touch on a couple here. As Honokaa Western Week has kicked off all the way through the 26th. So some good activities and a lot of events going across the Honokaa community there. For the North Kohala CDP, the Community Development Plan, their utilities group and their Parks and Road group are meeting this Wednesday at the old Kohala Courthouse. The first one starts at 3:30 p.m. for the utilities group, and then Parks and Road starts at 5. Today there was a coffee with a cop up in Hawi, Kapau area, and then that was great to see the officers there, connect with community members there. There'll also be another coffee with a cop this Thursday, May 22nd, at the Waimea Burger King, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning and going until about 10. There's also the Young Innovators of Hawaii event put on by our North Kohala residents, kind of highlighting and spotlighting the work that our keiki are doing in the community. That's later this week on Friday. There's also a Narcan giveaway on Saturday at the Waikolo KTA starting at 10 a.m. And there's also a bonsai show by the Waimea Bonyu Kai Bonsai Club this Saturday and Sunday at the Waimea Community Center from 9 to 3, both of those days. And it is Memorial Day weekend, and there will be a Memorial Day ceremony at the West Hawaii Veterans Cemetery next Monday, starting at 11 a.m. And it is also graduation season, so I just want to congratulate all of our graduates this year that are going off to the next chapter in their lives. We've got a lot of celebrations and graduations happening this week, a lot going on this Friday and then Saturday. So expect some traffic and people getting out there to celebrate their loved ones and the keiki and all the hard work they've done in the communities here. So congratulations, graduates and families, for celebrating with your keiki. Awesome work there. I'm honored to serve as your council member, so please reach out if you have any questions. You're welcome to email me at james.hustace@hawaiicounty.gov, or you can call our Hilo office at 808-961-8564, or our Waimea office at 808-887-6077. And with that, I want to wish you good health, be well, aloha.